The Fan.
The Power Hour is live and available to stream now on all of your favorite KFAN platforms. Presented by the Salvation Army. Down for the Challenge is a thrilling, rappelling event to raise money for the Salvation Army. It's happening on July 28th and 29th at the Omni Viking Lakes Hotel in Eagan. Learn more at KFAN.com, keyword calendar.
Thanks, Max.
Hey, thanks, Echo. I'm just trying to hold the torch for you.
Speaking of heights, you're jumping out of a plane, Ben?
On Friday? Yeah.
Never
Nice
have,
Nice knowing you.
Yeah. It's a blast, by the way.
I'm sure it is.
You'll absolutely love it.
I'm sure I will. But, the anxiety... Splat. The anxiety is real.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
It'll be much more real.
You're jumping out of a perfectly good plane.
Yep. Very confident with the people I'm jumping with.
Yeah.
But still.
Yeah. I will warn you.
Yes.
Is that...
Wear a diaper?
No. Well, you might want to.
He has one on anyway.
Yes. Constantly. But no, here's the thing is that just know this, that when you're doing a tandem jump, your balls are basically the brakes. So you got the guy on your back.
Yeah, you've done it.
Right. You got the guy on your back. And then when you go and you hit the when you hit the ripcord, it feels like you actually go up in the air. Mm-hmm. So you're stopping from hurtling towards the earth. But the harness, there's no good place for it.
Wow. Wow. Yeah, that was really loud. So make sure the straps of the harness.
It won't matter. They'll still find it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Oh, and it's like I asked the guy that I did a tandem jump with. I'm like, dude, just cut me. We're at 5,000 feet, under canopy, and I'm like, I'll take a chance at the bounce because this hurts so damn bad.
Okay, so maybe you can answer some of the questions we had earlier.
Yeah.
Who knows if Ben's doing exactly the same thing as you would be doing, but what height did you jump from and how much time of actual free fall before the parachute gets pulled?
The ideal is they want to go to 10,000 normally. If there's cloud cover, we went to 95. That's as far as we could go up. And then when you jump out, which is really cool, when you jump out, how I did it, they opened up the side door, and then my guy was like, okay, make sure you keep your eyes open, because I was terrified, and he knew. But he's like, just keep your eyes open, because what you're going to see the ground, because you kind of somersault out. You're going to see the ground. You're going to see the plane fly away. You're going to see the sky. You're going to see the ground again. And then I'm going to yell, arc. And so then that's when you just throw your arms out, and then now you're doing your free fall. And that free fall, I can't tell you how long it was because it was so exhilarating. I mean, it was so much fun. Just cheeks flapping in the wind. It was outstanding.
Yeah. So you were going backwards.
No. At this point, we're in
I think I'll be going face down.
Yeah. No, I was cannonballing through the air. Yeah.
Everybody saw your tar scar.
And then the guy was telling me, he's like, all right, so then I'm gonna hit you on the hip, and that's when you grab the ripcord. And he's like, please do not let go of the ripcord because they're very expensive. And he goes, I'll just grab it out of your hand. But then, so he tapped me. I was having so much fun hurtling towards the earth that I pretended that I didn't feel it. So then the second time, hits me a little harder. Nope, still flying. I'm loving this.
What are you doing?
What is wrong with you?
And then the guy is like punching me in the hip.
Yeah, he should punch you in the head.
And so finally I pulled the cord, and then, that's when the ball breaks came in.
All right, so let me ask you a couple more questions that you may not know the answer to.
Yes.
I have a propensity to pass out.
Yes, I've heard.
Right, against my will.
Right.
That's weird.
It sounds like this guy had a job for you to do.
Right, yes.
What happens if the person who's in front passes out? My guess is this has happened 1,000 times, so they have safety measures in place.
He just grabs it.
So it's more of a convenience thing. He wants you to hand it to him, but he has access to it if you go out.
Right. They want you to be as interactive with the experience as possible.
Not just along for the ride.
Right.
But he damn near punched you because you were not following directions.
No.
I just can't imagine the first time jumping out of a plane going against what my instructor is telling me.
Loving it.
Loving every bit of it.
Want to keep falling.
Just a big smile on my face. I'm like, no, let's just keep going a little bit farther.
I imagine it's going to be, I'm going to feel that tap and I'm going to pull that son of a bee so hard.
You might pull it so quickly it hits the plane.
Yeah. That might be the truth.
Man.
Because I am looking forward not only to the little bit of the free fall, but I'm looking forward to like the gentle just ride down. Like, you could just go a few thousand feet in the air, right?
Yeah, but 5,000 is about where you.
How intimidating is that float down? Once the parachute is out, it's been deployed. It even, it hooks. Everything's good to go.
Yeah.
So the fear might be gone, but now you're floating at 5,000 feet. Is that still fear-inducing?
No, it's the most tranquil you'll ever feel in your life.
Really?
It's so amazing. And then when you get down finally to the ground, I mean, it's like stepping off of a chair. And I don't know if you.
So the landing wasn't hard, right?
Because sometimes you see people, they do that butt scoot thing.
Yeah.
I did not do that. It was just.
Well, your
get to
cheeks
the end.
were out.
Yeah, right. Yeah. But at the very end, you just pull on both of the cords, and then it kind of lifts you up just a little bit more, and then you just land.
Because that was my one concern that. Okay,
because your knees?
Yeah, trick knee. That am I going to have a hard landing and hobble away from this thing? Saying
no,
most exhilarating thing in my life, but now I really need a knee replacement.
Yeah, you're not paratrooping on this thing where you're just like, I got to get into enemy land as fast as possible and just hitting the ground hard. No, it's not going to be something like that. I would guess. I wonder if you're going to be because are you going? Do you have any idea of like all the details to it? Are you going to be going on the backside of the plane? Like it's going to be a military plane?
Look, I don't even know where I'm supposed to meet. I don't even know who I'm meeting with. Like so that particular detail, I'm sure is at the very bottom of the email, and probably I won't find that out until I get there.
It's the coolest thing I've ever done. Honestly, it was just amazing. Even though from 5,000 feet, I was securely having a strap on my balls, but
yeah. Which is just a Tuesday night. So you're like,
I'm just there for the nudity and orgies.
Oh, my. State Fair t-shirt.
I didn't have the mask on that time.
He did. I'm not looking forward. I'm not looking forward to the stranglehold on the scrot, but
as Zecca would say, they're playing the fine line this weekend.
You're going to be put in a headlock.
Yeah. But I'm glad that the landing is nice and gentle.
Oh. Yeah, it's awesome. And then, obviously, you just cheated death. So that's the best experience that you'll have.
Was it really difficult to take that initial step out of the plane? Because obviously the door gets open, the world's kind of passing you at 180 miles an hour or whatever it is, and it's just like, all right, I guess we're doing this.
I didn't put a lot of thought into it because we were too far into it.
You're like, I just got to go.
And the thing is that another buddy of mine, he went first, so he was attached to the guy who was doing the tandem. I'm in the very back of the plane, no attachment. I got no parachute, and they got the door open, and I'm freaking out. And I'm like, you're gonna he's like, just walk backwards, just come over to me to the door. I'm like, no, you come over here.
Yeah.
Hook up. What if I also
like
just
trap.
get sucked out of here?
Sounds like your monster of a wife trying to get rid of you, right? Eat up and we'll tell you. Correct.
It's like Johnny Utah.
Yeah. Where we're going, we don't need roads.
That's Back to the Future.
Look, if Tom Cruise can do stuff like this, I can do it.
No, you're going to have an absolute blast. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Are you afraid of heights?
No, not necessarily.
Oh.
I mean, look, I'm going to do this. I just know that talking tough and imagining how fun it's going to be is still going to be way different when I'm actually standing at the edge of the door and I'm like, whoa, this is really happening.
This is happening, yeah.
This is really happening. So, yeah, I know that I'm going to be terrified, but I think it's going to be a fun scare.
The tandem jump guy is probably more terrified than you are right now. It's like, okay, Ben's 230, 6'4".
Well, that's the thing.
What the hell?
Am I just going to get like this little person too? Because you're like, well, our canopies can only handle
a huge bitch.
About 350 pounds of force. So you got to find the smallest person to jump with you.
So the guy that I tandem jumped with, he's about your size. And so he goes, when we hit the ground, I'm going to tell you to run. And you got to run backwards because it was windy that day. And he's like, otherwise you get dragged across the tarmac that we were at an air show. And I'm like, I don't want to do that. And so when we land, he yells, run, Muss, run. And I started backpedaling. He said it was the first person that has ever picked him up on his feet. And then now he's hitting me again going, stop.
Dude, you're running too fast.
Got into the ropes, got into the parachute. So that way it wouldn't drag us out. So that's, yeah.
And you're like, look, you told me to run backwards.
Yeah. I'm doing everything
you just don't follow directions.
Yeah,
No, I do not.
You don't listen.
No.
What?
Huh?
All right, Sauce, this is like a 45-minute tease. Let's pay it off. What's the documentary that you saw?
It's the one on the band Wham with Andrew Ridgeley and George
Watch
Michael.
that?
It's very, 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 very good.
It pops up every time. It's the top one.
It abruptly ends because
What service?
Netflix.
Yeah.
They were around for 4 years, and I didn't realize how big of a band they were. They were huge. They were like the first band
Wake me up
to play in like. It was incredible. They played
the international
all these sold out shows.
Yeah.
They played all these arenas. They were massive for 4 years, and then they basically realized that George Michael is an incredible songwriter. Like he produced, wrote all of it.
Yeah.
And Andrew Ridgeley was like, I just am an afterthought. And like
I'm the other guy.
He gracefully stepped away. That's the best.
So Wham, is this a two-person
It's just
band?
a two-person band.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
It was, and they were like, they were like high school or childhood best friends, and they didn't really want to do anything else. And George is an incredible songwriter. And you hear like the first ever version of Careless Whisper. Oh. This song was a massive hit. If you're an 80s music guy, it's very, very good.
So do they end badly on bad terms?
No. They play a final show at Wembley in front of 100 and something thousand people. They play that's the last show they ever played together. And then George went on to sell, I think, 120 million records.
As a solo artist.
And Ridgeley. And
what's Ridgeley doing?
I don't know, but he's
Mailbox money.
Mailbox money, and he is just a swordsman. Just a swordsman. Like because George hid his sexuality for so long, and he protected him. He knew, Andrew knew early, and he protected him, and he said
he human shielded himself with all the ladies.
Yeah,
He's
but
like,
basically was like the band was like where George could hide.
Yeah.
It's very good. And nobody really knew until like 1998 when he was like arrested for like soliciting.
Yeah. It was like in his vehicle.
Yeah. So like he kept it non-public for a long time, but it was before social media and all. Yeah.
Your father.
But my God, he's written some A+ tunes.
Oh, fantastic.
But it's A+.
Yeah. I watched, I don't know if you guys have watched this, Jury Duty.
We watched one episode of it. It's
Pauly
okay.
Shore?
No, very nice. No, honestly, it's a really good show all the way through.
We watched one episode, never went back.
The premise of it is that there's one guy, so it's jury duty.
Oh, that's right.
One guy is actually thinking that he's going to be a part of jury duty, and the rest of them are actors. Everyone else is. James Marsden is in it as well, and playing himself. Honestly, if you keep watching it, it gets hysterical.
Yeah, we never went back to it.
Yeah, the different things that they throw at this poor guy Ronald, it's so damn funny. And then at the end, they I don't want to spoil it but at the end they finally tell him that everyone else is an actor.
Everyone's an actor.
Yeah.
What did you see, Cory?
It's only 8 episodes. It's not bad.
I can save all of you 3 hours, and I think some of you have watched this, but in terms of the listeners, I can save a lot of you 3 hours. The American Gladiators were underpaid. They got hurt. They did steroids.
You didn't like that?
Hated it. It was so boring.
I loved that.
I loved the American Gladiators.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm like, all right,
Give me a pistol stick.
This would be a good little watch on the way home. It's a 5-parter on Netflix about.
Is it the same thing? The same 30 for 30?
I don't think so.
Because ESPN did the 30 for 30.
Yeah.
I saw that on Netflix on Saturday.
I don't know if it is. Maybe it is. I thought it was a gigantic waste of time. It's super repetitive, and what was disappointing is they kept saying things like, man, we went on tour and it was crazy. Everything we did was crazy. And they show these videos from the bus where they're sitting around having beers. You're like, that's crazy?
Yeah, I think it's the same thing.
It's just over and over and over and over again. So they did steroids. They were massively underpaid. They had a terrible contract that they couldn't get out of.
They were exploited.
They got taken advantage of. It could have been an hour. It was 3.
Yeah, correct. And then
If it was an hour, it would have been fine. But I'm like, how much are they just going to tell me that the Gladiators made no money? They've been talking about it for an hour straight. Come on, let's go.
Is it
Super
the one
boring.
where there's the 2 guys involved and you don't see the second guy till like the last episode? It must be something different then. Because there's a 30 for
You're
30
right.
that ESPN did on the American Gladiators. This must be something completely different.
I think
It's called Muscles and Mayhem,
Is there
the
a-
unauthorized story of the American
I think they're two
Gladiators.
different
Yeah.
things.
So is there the ESPN one? I thought is very good.
Okay, this one was not.
Okay.
And I
Way
like
too
the
long.
30 for 30 one.
Yeah, the 30 for 30 was fine, but similar.
It did go on too
It
long.
could have been an hour.
Could have been an hour.
It doesn't need to be.
Nope.
Yeah.
I was such a massive fan.
Oh,
though.
yeah.
that's
Who wasn't?
That's exactly why I watched all of it. You
By
know,
the
I
way,
mean, I'm sure there was a bunch of parts there. I'm like, I probably
Yeah,
didn't
it just
need to
got
see
super
that. but-
repetitive. The one
yeah.
thing that stood out to me, think about this, Ben. If somebody fact checked this, Zacho, you're good at that. Check this out. At one point in the documentary, though, they said that the ratings for American Gladiators, I think they said in 1991, were higher than the NFL.
Yes.
Yeah, I heard that too.
Just wrap your mind
So
around that
that-
for a second. That the Gladiators
That
in
makes sense.
91 had bigger ratings than
Yeah.
the National Football
That's
League.
I think it makes sense because kids like us were all over the American Gladiators, and the adults loved it too.
Yeah, and how many times have I said this on the show in the last couple of years? When I overslept on Saturday morning and missed Gladiators, it ruined my whole week.
Yeah.
Like, God, NBA
Yeah.
Inside Stuff with
All
Ahmad
of it.
Rashad.
Yeah.
Saved by the Bell. And if I missed Gladiators, my Saturday was ruined.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
Must
says
be nice being me.
LA Times 1991 says right here Gladiators drew higher ratings than the National Football League.
Well, before
Times have
Yeah,
changed.
before Randy Moss got here, the Vikings games were blacked out.
Yeah.
You had to drive to like.
Is that right?
Yes, superstar. Yeah, because he once said, "Is that right?" Anyway, yeah, they were. It was blacked out before Moss got here. They would be on like you'd have to drive 75 miles out of the city to
Or
watch.
there'd be like a company that would buy out
yeah,
the tickets.
yeah,
so we could
yeah.
actually
I
watch
was
it.
always under the assumption that when I joined this franchise, everything I knew about this franchise in 2006, at that point in time, I thought this was like the most rabid fan base since the inception of the team.
Well, it was
98 and beyond,
98,
of course.
Yeah.
Randy Moss, like
Moss turned it, yeah.
If Moss, like if you think about it, if Moss goes to Dallas, like they intended it, like they told him they were going to take him with the 8th pick, I doubt the Vikings are still here because they're sold. Nobody, people cared. But it wasn't like
After
it
all
was.
the 70s, people just didn't
they were blacked out. As Muss said, 3M Pillsbury would buy out the tickets so it wouldn't be sold out, and that was
So you could
always a
watch it
thing.
on TV,
Look,
yeah.
That happened in San Diego, and we understood why. I did not expect that to hear that about this franchise.
No, Randy Moss saved the franchise.
Oh, without a doubt, yeah.
He's the best thing that's ever happened to the Minnesota Vikings.
He's like the Nitro of American Gladiators.
Yeah. Zach, would you?
He's like the Storm.
Oh, yeah.
Young Cory Corv watching Storm, just like, oh, she was
I
hot.
liked Lace.
Oh, yeah.
No, you like
Didn't like Malibu.
Yes,
Shut
you
up.
did. You loved Malibu.
Headlines is next. This is the Power Trip Morning Show on the Fan.
The Fan.
Thanks to the Salvation Army for sponsoring today's Power Hour live stream. The Salvation Army's Down for the Challenge is a thrilling, rappelling event to raise money for the Salvation Army on July 28th and 29th at the Omni Vikings Lakes Hotel in Eagan during Vikings training camp. Learn more about this year's event by heading to KFAN.com, keyword calendar.
See, I'm the chosen one. Fake friends with a camera.
All right, you guys want to do headlines? You ready?
Let's do it.
Hell yeah. Something.
Now it's time for headlines.
A guy tried to rob a nail salon in Atlanta and failed. He walked in with a bag over his hand like he had a gun in it and yelled for everyone to get down on the ground. But they just stared at him until he turned around and left.
A nail salon.
This is one of the funniest videos I've ever seen.
I saw that.
It was like something. It was like if Michael Scott tried to do a robbery or something. Like it seemed like it was out of a skit.
Nobody listened.
Nobody even moved.
What are you going to get on that heist? I mean, maybe
I don't know, but even
$100.
that's still fascinating that even though you don't show the gun, right? Because you may not even have a gun, just you have a bag over your hand. I would just think human instinct that most people instinctually would get down and just listen because they're threatened. The fact that how many people are in this video? How many people do you guys think are in the salon when he walks in?
That's a solid handful.
Yeah, there's like two people sitting right by the door, and isn't there a lady at the cashier? Like,
Yeah.
They're sitting down getting their
So
toes.
it's like a
Four,
solid-
5, 6, 7 people.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
about 6, 7.
The fact that all of them collectively are just like, nah,
Yeah.
that fascinates me.
I'm getting a flower
I
on
would
my
be
big
down.
toe. I don't care.
I'd be on the ground in a second.
Button.
Well, it's super funny that one guy even kind of like gets up and acts, and then he sees nobody else doing anything, so he just walks right out the front door.
Well, do you think this is a larger like socio issue that's going on right now, where everybody's desensitized to all these videos and all this corruption, all this stuff? Like you see these guys walk into any drugstore and just take stuff, and people are like, "Oh, the guys are stealing stuff." Like all the videos from France, like they had this huge uprising in France, and people are just sitting at a bistro having coffee, and things are being lit on fire like half a block away, and they're like, "Oh,
People do that.
well, this is just what a revolution looks like."
There's this one lady in the
What?
video that doesn't even. It's like a fly came in. She's like, "This is
Like,
happening."
oh,
All right. He just doesn't move. He just sits
Like
there.
Flossie Dicky, right?
Yeah, just
Not
she doesn't
one
care,
bit.
right?
Right, she
Like,
just wants to nap
he
as many
comes in
times as she can.
with it's like a man bag that he puts his hand in it. It's just Max nailed it. It's like if Michael Scott performed a robbery. She's so unbothered by it. Watch.
I got to see this, yeah. Coming in, everybody's chill.
He just
so this
barges in.
this is the opposite of Tommy Boy when he walks into the.
Yeah.
This is only going to take a minute.
All the cops throw their guns to him. It's such a great
Well,
bit.
he even like
The first lady looks at him like she doesn't believe him.
Like, come on.
he gets in one lady's face, and she doesn't even make eye contact.
No.
She's like, you know what? My appointment is in 5 minutes. You're bothering
and
me.
the guy behind the register is like, all right, Tammy, you can take your break now. What do you need? Like, they're just unbothered. And he even looks around like, nobody's buying this. Like, all right, I'll walk out.
Hey, idiot! This is a cashless business, and it has been for a long time.
Yeah.
yeah.
You think he just like rode home with sad music? Like, why didn't they take me seriously?
Probably.
Right.
God, last week they did the same thing. They're just so used to it. Like, oh, here comes Chuck again.
Yeah.
A new trend on TikTok says guys are pranking their girlfriends by what an idiot. Pretending to propose.
Oh, dear God.
Don't do that.
Man,
don't do
you
that.
better have a girlfriend that has a very solid sense of humor, because a
Don't do
lot of
that.
gals are like, it's over.
Yeah,
if you're
I'm
going to
leaving.
mess with them like that, it's going to
Don't
be
do
over.
that.
Yeah, you're
Ooh, boy.
even like an actual proposal. If
Yeah.
you don't do it right,
Man.
it's
That's-
the story for the rest of your lives.
That's a situation where you don't go a boy who cried wolf on that.
Yeah,
Like, you
but
just
the best,
don't
the
joke
best
about
though is if they think that they're being super funny, and she's like, "No," they're like, "Oh well, it was just a joke."
Oh,
Pretty good
anyway."
Buffalo
Oh,
Bill
yeah,
there.
Buffalo
or Stephen
Bill.
Wright. I wish I could go back. I wish I could do my proposal over, and I'm pretty sure my wife wishes she could answer differently.
I screwed up our proposal.
No.
Oh, yeah.
Were you too busy talking about skydiving?
No.
You're in between golf shots.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Were
big
your
golf
cheeks
shots.
clapping?
Yeah.
I just screwed up.
We loved going to Stillwater, and that was our thing. And we'd stay at bed and breakfast and stuff like that. It was awesome. And so I'm like, okay, I'm going to propose to her at the Madcapper. And it was Christmas Eve morning. So I wanted to do that one thing where, like, okay, so then we get the whole family gets to meet at the ring, and then, you know, every dude knows that has ever proposed. You just sit in the corner. No one cares about you. They just care about, you know, the ring and the gal. And so I didn't look ahead to see what time they opened. So we're walking up and down the street on
sauce,
95
meat sauce.
there. And every single jewelry store we walked by, my wife would go, there's another place we're not going to walk into. She
hates
rode my ass the whole time. And then finally,
Were your cheeks clapping again?
yes, finally proposed to her. And then it was about halfway back on 94 where she was like, oh, I'm sorry.
Oh,
I was kind of awful to you the whole way. I'm like, yeah, just a little bit. I almost said, nope, not going to do it.
Yeah, like I'm not going to do it then.
Yeah.
Plus, honestly, then that's your fault.
Yeah,
That was the red flag you didn't catch, and now you're stuck.
Oh, yeah. 24 years deep.
Officials in Alabama say at least 4 people have died in recent months thanks to another dumb TikTok trend where people jump off of a speeding boat.
What are we doing?
At least 4 people have died in recent months.
Why?
What's the bit?
Yeah.
You just jump off
the one thing that I saw on social media is like they're not dying the way you think they'd die. They're hitting things and breaking their necks.
Oh.
Yeah.
Like underwater trees
So the
or
boat's
rocks
going
or
that
something.
fast.
Yeah, because the videos that they're posting, like the boat's speeding like super fast, and they're just jumping off the back, like like a little swim platform, just jumping off the back. And so, physics would say it's kind of safe because this is the second that you're in the air, the boat's passing you, and you're safe from the prop, but you're hitting things. Apparently,
Rosie.
idiots.
A couple of birthdays today. I want you guys to make a selection. This isn't misogynistic at all.
Okay.
Happy 43rd birthday to Jessica Simpson. Got to do it, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Happy 51st birthday to Sofia Vergara.
Sophia not close.
My God.
Top 2.
Yeah.
Oh wait, we're supposed to choose.
Pick one.
Bowen first,
Jessica.
and then
Jessica?
no,
For sure.
Sophia for sure.
This
Not
song.
even
Hands down.
Good choice, Zacho.
really, Jessica?
Yeah.
No.
Yes.
No. Have you ever talked to her before?
You're not talking.
I talked to her. I said, got to do it to her.
Yeah.
She asked me about my Red Bull.
What's the video? Is it what's the movie that's the old TV show that her?
Dukes of Hazzard.
Yeah, that video.
Yeah, unbelievable.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. The Daisy Dukes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was like the hottest thing in the world for 6 years.
Yeah. I tried to hit on her, remember?
Was that at the party here?
It was the next day, yeah.
Oh, it was the next day?
You don't know
Okay.
this story?
No.
This is the most told story maybe in the history of this show.
This was
told
after
it 1,000 times.
Her
But
dog took a crap in the...
yeah, that happened too.
yeah, in the boss's
No,
office.
Hawk and Star and I wanted to meet her because she was down at KDWB the day after our party.
Yeah.
So Steve-O
Yeah.
was like, hey, guys, come down here. I'll walk her out in a second. We'll introduce her.
Yeah.
I think it was Steve-O. It may have been Jackson, actually. Remember Jackson?
It's probably Jackson.
Actually, I think it was Jackson.
Yeah.
So we're standing outside
Taylor
of KDWB.
Swift knows Jackson.
Oh, that's that, Jackson?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
So we're
That's
standing
the
outside of
dumbest
KDWB
thing.
waiting for Jessica Simpson to come out, and she does. And all 3 of us are starstruck. We didn't have much to say. I had a Red Bull in my hand, and she looks at me and she goes, Red Bull, huh? I go,
Cory.
gotta do it.
You're so smooth.
I couldn't think of what to say. Like, I had nothing to say. So I go, gotta do it. And then all of us just kind of stood in silence. No, she was with Nick Lachey at the time, but I think if I had been a little bit smoother,
Right.
Should have said,
she could have been mine.
Yeah.
would you like some?
You should have said, I'll give you some wings.
Wait, who shares Red Bull?
I don't know. It would
could've
have been
asked
better
her
than
Jessica
got him.
Simpson?
It would have been-
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You could have asked her about Chicken of the Sea.
I just think that's even creepier, though. To be
would've-
like, you want a sip?
But it's better than gotta do it.
No, it's not. No,
Yes,
it's
it
not.
is.
Asking her if
The
she
way-
wants a
but-
sip of my open
Not
Red
if-
Bull
but-
is so much
not
creepier
if-
than just go, gotta do it.
No, not if you say it like a
Well, I
creep.
didn't
If you
say it
just
like I
said,
was a sex phone
Would you
operator.
like some?
Sex phone? I didn't go, I didn't go, gotta do it. I
And
didn't
then
say
just
it like
scared.
that.
You wanna?
Yeah.
She was
Can I touch your
striking.
hair?
She
Yeah,
was
she's smoking.
extremely
Yeah.
attractive.
So that's
still
why it's
is.
the right answer.
Yeah, she was
There's
unbelievable.
Have you
no
not
wrong
seen
answer.
Sophia
Yeah.
Vergara?
Guys,
Ben?
I love you, but I gotta go.
All right, Ben.
I know,
Don't die
I know.
on
It's,
Friday.
it's like back to work on Twin Cities Live. I
Yeah.
can't believe it. All right, guys.
All right,
Love
lots
you.
to get to still. Sorry, Jessica.
Ben,
Love you, Jessica. Bye.
gotta do it.
Gotta do it.
See, that's creepy. You guys are weird.
Speaking of Dukes of Hazzard, trivia time. Ready? Don't guess if you saw this.
The Confederate flag.
A guy in blank, I'm looking for a state. A guy in blank got 3 years probation after he filed for bankruptcy and then tried to hide his replica of the General Lee from Dukes of Hazzard. So he claimed he was bankrupt and then
Right.
didn't want them to know
They're never going to take the General Lee from
that
me.
he's got the General Lee, a replica. What state is this man from? Everybody gets one guess.
Florida?
Florida out of Zach. Sauce?
Wisconsin.
Wisconsin? Muss? Scotty?
It's got to be Scotty.
Max?
I'm going to go with Alabama.
Alabama. So 2 Scotties, 1 Alabama, and a Florida. Of course it's Wisconsin.
Yeah.
My God.
Could you imagine this guy? He's hiding it in somebody else's barn, and then every once in a while he takes the tarp off of it so he could hood slide on there. It's just like, they're not going to take my General Lee.
Yeah. It's like Gone in 60 Seconds when he sees the What kind of car is that? The Shelby.
GT.
He just wants to look at it.
Eleanor.
Yeah, that's such a sweet
Why did
car.
we weld these doors?
Yeah. I've never seen an episode of that show.
What?
No.
You've never lived.
You're not missing much.
No.
What?
You are missing this, and I have not Googled this. You can check my internet history.
No,
but
nobody wants to do that.
But my guess is everyone that's listening is going to. According to this headline, Muss, possibly the skimpiest bikini ever made just debuted at a fashion show in Miami. People are saying it's a G-string in the front.
Oh. I've worn one of those.
What's it called? It's on a lady.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, extreme. Here's the headline from this website: Extreme micro bikinis. Let's take it.
I
That's
wonder
the
if
new
it's
thing.
comfortable.
It can't be.
It can't be. Who wants a?
I just saw his eyes.
Sauce's sentence stopped midway. I assume you just found the photos. And
What do we got?
I mean,
That's it?
I'm not. This is. It looks like an eye patch.
Yeah, I want
oh,
some.
I thought it was going to be less than that.
This one's pretty bad.
Is it essentially nudity?
Yeah, it's
It's the whole thing, right? Yeah.
How do I say this? It looks.
I can't wait to find out.
Wow.
It looks like that
She's
part of
starfished.
her body is wearing a horse bit.
Oh my God.
I mean, are you looking at the star one, Max?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not like. What is?
I'm
why?
seeing stars after seeing it. Oh my God.
Yeah, but the next one down after that.
She's
It's like,
just, I mean, this is like,
It's a front wedgie.
it's like
The front G-string, according to this headline.
It's like a Skinamax version of what a WWE wrestler would wear.
Got it.
Yeah.
animal.
Oh my God. I support the micro bikini movement.
yeah.
And I,
Yeah, have at. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Be happy.
Muss, have you purchased A&W root beer in the last 7 years?
Yes, but via the can. But I still did the, you got to do the mug thing. Where you
Gotta
got the
do
thumb
it.
in the, yeah.
Got to do it.
You've spent some of your hard-earned dollars on A&W root beer.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
It is
I would
fantastic.
love to go. There's one in Faribault, I believe, still.
Do you
open.
like money?
Yeah. Who
Well,
doesn't?
then this story
It
is
spends
for
the
you,
best.
Muss.
Okay.
If you have bought A&W root beer in the past 7 years, you could have a cool $5 coming your way.
Why?
Because they just lost a class action lawsuit for suggesting that they used real vanilla when they actually used a synthetic substitute.
Oh, God. People are such a pain in the ass.
love A&W.
Yeah.
Somebody was like, this is not really vanilla.
Who are you talking about? It sounds like that.
Look, I
How
love
many old ladies do you hang out with?
Come
I
on,
love,
Karen.
Yeah,
I love Raising Cane's, right? I love Annie Ann's pretzels, Red Lobster Cheddar Bay biscuits, State Fair cheese curds. We can go down the whole list. If somebody told me today that the best thing for nutrition for you was a root beer float, I would be the happiest person you have ever seen.
I haven't had one of those in forever.
If I could have those 24 hours a day and just never gain an ounce and just never get sick from it, I would eat root beer floats nonstop.
Do you
They're A+.
make them at home?
Freaking
They're A+.
love them.
Do you
Yeah.
make them at home?
Yeah, and once in a while when I'm a psycho, I'll do it in February because who gives a rat's ass?
Are you making your own ice cream? Are you getting one of those ice cream makers?
That's like the
No,
new thing.
I don't have time for
Making
that.
your own ice cream.
Yeah.
No, you just buy it.
God, I love root beer floats.
Yeah. What's your favorite root beer to do it with? A&W?
Probably, but it doesn't matter.
Or
as long,
Barks.
as long as it's good.
Yeah, Barks.
There aren't very many bad root beers. It's hard to do it bad.
How about sarsaparilla? How do you feel
Sure.
about that? Yeah.
Sure.
Excuse me?
Sarsaparilla.
This is disgusting. A guy in Ohio was recently diagnosed with a rare case of hairy tongue syndrome.
Oh, yeah.
Listen to this. The top of his tongue is green and shaggy, almost like it turns into a
Mr.
chia pet.
Bombastic?
Yeah. He's okay now, but experts still don't know exactly what causes it. That's the most terrifying thing to me is what? What happened?
I'm so pissed off I can't grow it on my head. And this guy is growing it on his tongue.
But it's green.
That's disgusting.
Ooh.
5 people in Georgia got arrested in connection with a murder that happened in an area called Gilligan's Island.
What? That's a real place?
I guess.
I did not know that.
I did not know this. This is your random fact for the day. Did you know that Michael Jackson composed some of the music for Sonic the Hedgehog 3? The game, not the movie that probably is coming out. The Sega Genesis game, Sonic the Hedgehog 3, Michael Jackson had some of the music.
Sonic the Hedgehog, very underrated video game franchise. It gets overlooked because of like Mario and Zelda and all that. Sonic the Hedgehog is sweet.
Frustrating, though.
Oh, Michael Jackson's like Prince, where you find out later how much they had their hands in so many different projects and so many different things. Just so talented.
Yeah.
Zach, do you follow Creed on Facebook?
Great.
Yeah.
Great
You do.
point.
Fans of the band Creed, which sounds like a paradox, but apparently that's real.
Great point.
Ugh. Fans seem to think they are getting back together because of their Facebook page.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Play some Creed.
Okay.
This wasn't on Threads?
No, they updated their Facebook page, so some fans think this is a signal that Creed is reuniting. Boy, oh boy.
You wouldn't go?
They had some bangers, though.
Yes, we talked. So funny you bring that up. The wife and I were at the Twins game, and one of the gentlemen working at the Twins game came up to me and said, "Hey, I just want you to know that I think, Zacho, you must have played it over the 4th, but the Creed Nickelback Duel of the Decades is incredible." And he's like, "My friends and I talk about it like all the time."
I didn't play it this time around, but yeah.
But people just hated them, but never took a step back and were like, "Man, they have some absolute bangers."
There were steps taken back.
No, this band wails.
Take a step back and listen now.
Oh, this
It's
song.
not good.
Turn it up, Zacho.
God damn.
I mean, you've never been more wrong for anything in your life, for. Oh, yeah, 3 days ago.
Eyes,
Look at
Eyes
that.
Wide Open might be one of the greatest songs ever.
They
It's
have
a
10.
heave
They
cry.
have 10 good songs.
Oh, yeah.
They have 10 songs.
No, this song
Zach, what
wails.
is the update? Why are people excited about this?
So, yeah, they changed their profile and their cover photo a few days ago. And you know what? I just tweeted about this, I'm pretty sure.
So you might be responsible?
Yeah, you might be responsible.
I tweeted, it's just like, seriously, like 3 days ago.
You weren't into Creed
If
for
I had
like
a
a
genie,
second.
one of my 3 wishes would be for Creed to get back together for a tour.
They listen.
Apparently I'm a
Anybody
genie.
that says that they don't like Creed or make fun of it or Nickelback, they are lying to themselves.
No,
and they're
we're
lying
not.
to everyone else because they're just like, well, it's just kind of it's a trendy
Well,
thing. to do.
Nickelback has like 1.5.
I
good
pity
songs.
you.
Both bands are just horrific.
No,
but
this
still,
band
if you guys
wails.
like it, that's fine.
So let me ask you this question.
Yeah.
And this is mostly Zach or Cory, whoever. And you too, because you would know this. You must, not the band, you too. Where, if they got back together, what type of venues would they
I
play?
think we talked about this a week or so ago. I think they'd play the Armory.
Armory
Oh, yeah, we
makes
did
the
talk about
most
this.
sense there. Or it would be
I
maybe-
think they'd shoot for the X.
I don't think they're big enough for the X.
no, they'd be
20
like,
years ago, no-brainer.
I would say like maybe an amphitheater from one of the casinos.
That's another good point.
It
Yeah.
would make a lot of sense.
That makes sense.
That would be cool. See them outside.
You don't think if they put the right tour together where it was like them and like Godsmack, they couldn't sell out the
Yeah,
X?
they'd have to have like 4 bands.
No, they wouldn't. No, Godsmack's playing the X this year, aren't they, or something?
They doing Half House?
I mean, Greta Van Fleet's playing the X.
Greta
Creed
Van-
can play the X.
Yeah, thank you, Zach.
Yeah.
Greta Van Fleet sucks.
They might not sell out the top, like,
They wouldn't have
what
anybody
they do is
behind
they
them.
just move. They
Yeah.
move anybody upstairs, downstairs, and they couldn't sell that many. But I think they could do it.
I'd be more likely to attend a Q&A of Creed from The Office at a Barnes & Noble.
Well, that's because you're
wouldn't-
weird.
You would have to leave your house though to do that.
Yeah, that's a good point.
No,
Yeah,
he'd
screw that,
zoom
man.
in. Yeah, Creed Wales. I don't know why
Yeah.
you hate Creed.
I
They
don't.
didn't do anything to
I
you.
love them.
Did the gal that went to Australia, did she like Creed?
No.
Okay.
No.
It was a low blow. I apologize.
I'm over it.
No, I know. But
Kurt Cobain signed a guitar pick way back in the day, and now it's sold for $14,000, making it the most expensive guitar pick ever sold.
How could you even tell if it was his signature on there?
well,
Guitar
probably
picks are
an
tiny.
expert from Pawn Stars looked at it. that like show has made like a quiet resurgence on Instagram.
Has it really?
Well, because it's easy for like the clip where it'll be like, I've got so and so, and he's like, I want $1 million.
This isn't
and then
because
they'll
of
have
the-
some expert come in and be like, dude, that's a replica.
This
Like
isn't
some
the-
guy had
The porn stuff, right? No?
what?
Okay, sorry. That's something different.
What?
Don't,
Anyway,
don't
yeah.
check my history.
But 14 grand. That's a
lot
good
for a
amount of
pick.
money for a pick.
Oppenheimer, Christopher Nolan's new movie, is right around the corner.
I'm looking forward to that.
Same.
Because again,
I can't wait for
he
that.
just doesn't make bad movies. He's incredible.
I had
all
to
go
explain
see it?
who
Let's all go see it
Oppenheimer
as a
is
show.
to my wife, and I'm like, "How do you not know who Oppenheimer
Okay,
is?"
let's not say things we can't take back.
Let's do the Barbenheimer bit. Let's go see both that same weekend.
Well, I think
Barbenheimer.
I was leaning heavily towards Oppenheimer anyway because I love Christopher Nolan movies. But now Christopher Nolan, apparently for the first time, is going full on nudity. Not himself.
Oh.
There was an extended, apparently, scene between Cillian Murphy and Florence Pugh.
Oh, I like Florence.
Yes.
Yeah.
Cillian and Florence share, quote, prolonged full nudity and a scene. And Cillian and Emily Blunt also have a pretty heavy, complicated scene as well, whatever that means. So I guess this movie's 3 hours and about 2 hours and a half are nonstop nudity. And then there's a bomb at some point.
Oppenheimer blowing it up. I love it.
Did you
what
see
you did there.
Did you see I think it was over the weekend, how there is zero CGI in this movie? Zero.
Yeah, I saw that
cool.
too. I was like, dang, was he just like annihilating?
Right.
So like extras on the
Set off on
set. Well,
Do they blow up Japan again?
I know there's like video FX, and that's technically different than CGI
Yeah,
or
but
something
there's
like that.
no
But still,
CGI.
that's really impressive.
Yeah.
Bikini Island's going to get another bomb?
I have
I
no
remember
idea.
hearing that story about the
Yeah.
nuclear bomb that went off during filming.
Is that this Friday or next Friday?
Next Friday.
I love Nolan.
Look, we should all go see it. Cora, will you go?
should.
No, I'm busy.
No, you even work on
you didn't even
vacation.
try to hide the lie.
I'm busy.
You don't like us, and that's okay.
I'm busy.
Lamenheimer.
Yeah.
Oh,
Brilliant. There's your podcast titles, actually.
I got to be self-aware, though. I know I'm lame.
the
Not
morning.
trying to be cool. Stopped caring like 20 years ago.
That's sad.
About being cool. I wanted to be cool when I was younger. I never quite was.
You're
Never
cool.
Somebody polled 1,000 millennials and Gen Zers, and over a third of them, that's 33%.
That was for you and me, Zach.
Yep. Have said that at least one friend who makes them spend more money than they can afford, they've basically dumped. That they've moved on from a friend who makes too much money because they can't keep up with a rich friend's lifestyle.
This is why I'm out of the golf bet.
A week from Wednesday, you're in.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, because Ben shamed me into it.
The most common things that well-off friends cause us to overspend on include restaurant meals, drinks at bars, vacations, elaborate celebrations for things like birthdays, clothes, spa treatments are two other ones. So younger Americans, according to this story here, that are living check to check, basically are saying, I have to ghost you. I can't keep up with you anymore, so no hard feelings, but I'm out. So a third of millennials and Gen Zers say they have dumped a rich friend because they can't keep up.
I wonder what the percentage is of the third that live in their parents' basement. Just asking for a friend.
Why do you?
In my parents' basement? No.
Do you live in your own basement?
Yes. That's why garage beers.
Yeah.
I'm a service door away from being yelled at.
Last but not least, this is just one sentence. I don't even know what this means, but I'm super pumped because maybe besides Christopher Nolan, maybe this is my favorite director group on the planet, Joel and Ethan Coen, working on their first project together since 2018.
Sweet.
I don't know if that's a film or a series. My guess is it's a film. God, who makes better movies than the Coen brothers?
They're awesome.
Didn't they do the Netflix bit? Dead Up Dog or whatever? The bit with,
No idea what you're talking
you guys know
about.
what I'm talking about. Didn't it have dog in the title?
I don't know.
With Cumberbatch.
The bounty hunter.
Oh, no, that was a different.
You're thinking of Air Bud.
Air Bud, yes.
That was their first theatrical release. It was
God, my
outstanding.
sister loves that film.
Muss, thanks for your time, man.
Absolutely. Love you
Back
guys.
tomorrow, 5:30 to 9. 9 to noon is next, right here on The Fan.
To listen back to today's Power Trip Morning Show or to hear previous shows, podcast us on the iHeartRadio app or KFAN.com.